Spiritual alchemy is a deep and transformative journey. It's not about turning lead into gold, but about transmuting one's own soul into something higher and purer. Today, we will explore together the 3 mandatory steps to achieve this soul transmutation. Prepare for a dive into the depths of hidden knowledge, unraveling the veils that separate us from the true spiritual essence. To begin, spiritual alchemy has its roots in ancient esoteric traditions and sacred texts dating back to antiquity. This knowledge was passed from master to disciple, preserved and hidden to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. The human soul, according to these traditions, is like a raw metal that can be purified and transformed through spiritual processes. To achieve this transmutation, it is necessary to follow 3 essential steps: nigredo, albedo, and rubedo. The first step, nigredo, is known as the black work, or the black phase. This is a moment of deep introspection and purification. It's when we face our shadows, confront our fears, and recognize the parts of ourselves that need to be transformed. Think of nigredo as a process of symbolic death. It is the dissolution of the ego, a return to the primordial state where everything that is false and illusory is undone. In this phase, you must look honestly within yourself. Face what needs to be left behind. Just as the alchemist prepares the raw material, you must prepare your soul, purifying it from the impurities accumulated throughout life. One of the essential practices during nigredo is deep and sincere meditation, where you allow yourself to come into contact with the darkest and unresolved aspects of your psyche. It is not an easy or comfortable process, but it is necessary for spiritual advancement. A classic story that well illustrates this process is Buddha's quest for enlightenment. Before reaching nirvana, he had to confront Mara, the demon of illusion, and its temptations. Mara represents our own internal demons, our fears and illusory desires. Just as Buddha had to face Mara and his own mind, we too must face our shadows and the parts of ourselves that need to be transmuted. Once nigredo is completed, we move on to the second phase, albedo, or the white work. This is the stage of purification and enlightenment. After facing our shadows and the darkest aspects of our psyche, we undergo a kind of rebirth. Albedo is the phase where light begins to shine through the darkness. Imagine a dirty sheet that is washed and emerges white and pure. In albedo, the soul is purified, free from its stains and impurities. During this phase, the work focuses on purifying thoughts, emotions, and actions. Practices such as studying sacred texts, prayer, meditation focused on light, and performing acts of kindness and compassion are fundamental. It is a period to cultivate virtues and align with the true spiritual nature. An inspiring example is Saint Francis of Assisi, who after a period of intense penance and internal purification, dedicated his life to serving others in spiritual communion. His example shows us the transformative power of purifying our soul and living aligned with the light. Finally, we reach the third phase, rubedo, also known as the red work. This is the final stage of transmutation, where the soul reaches enlightenment and spiritual wholeness. In rubedo, the spiritual alchemist becomes the philosophical gold, symbolizing full achievement and union with the divine. It is a state of elevated consciousness where duality is transcended, and one experiences unity with the all. Rubedo is the pinnacle of the spiritual quest. In this phase, the being is in perfect balance, living in harmony with universal laws and experiencing true inner peace. A profound example is the life of Paramahansa Yogananda, one of the great spiritual masters of the 20th century. In his book, Autobiography of a Yogi, he describes his mystical union experiences, where he felt unity with the cosmos and understood the deeper purpose of existence. This is the ultimate realization achieved in rubedo. For those seeking this transmutation, it is important to remember that the path of spiritual alchemy is not linear and can be full of challenges. However, the journey is worth every effort, as the result is a purified, enlightened soul in harmony with the universe. During this journey, it is vital to maintain a constant spiritual practice, seek guidance from sacred texts, and be guided by masters who have already walked this path. How can we apply these principles in our daily lives? First, start with nigredo, practicing self-investigation and meditation to confront and purify the shadows within you. Continue seeking albedo through acts of kindness, spiritual study, and meditation on light, cultivating virtues and cleansing the mind and heart. Finally, aspire to Rubedo, living in harmony with the spiritual truths you have discovered and seeking union with the divine. I deeply thank each one of you who accompanied me on this journey of knowledge and reflection. May we all find true spiritual transmutation and live in full light and wisdom. Gratitude to all.